I got a phone call just out of the blue from someone called Tony DeFries, who was the man who was his manager for a long time and who had great expectations of David Bowie. And they invited me over to New York to meet him. And I met Bowie, and he said, "Do you want to make the film?" And I said, yes, unsurprisingly. It was a year after he'd killed off Ziggy Stardust at the Hammersmith Odeon. He'd created this character, and the character became a monster, and as the song says, the monster was me.
Ziggy, I mean, it was just an experiment. It was an exercise for me. And he really grew sort of out of proportion, I suppose. Got much bigger than I thought Ziggy was going to be. I didn't ever see Ziggy as big. Ziggy just overshadowed everything.
He's very fragile, he's exhausted, he's sort of looking in America for stuff. He's not quite sure what he's looking for. He's found himself there. And this tour he was planning was right across America. He never took aeroplanes, so he traveled only by car. So many of our conversations were snatched conversations in the back of limousines, in hotel rooms late at night, sometimes 3 or 4 in the morning, I don't quite know when. His diet, I always sort of felt, was the things I remembered were the milk and the cocaine seemed to be the two elements.
Since you've been in America, you seem to have picked up on a lot of the idioms and themes of American music and American culture. How's that happened?
There's a fly floating around in my milk, and there's a foreign body in it, you see, and he's getting a lot of milk. It's kind of how I feel. A foreign body here, and I couldn't help but soak it up, you know.
Those scenes and the scenes in the back of the car were particularly evocative because it was those scenes that captured the imagination of Nicholas Roeg, the filmmaker. Therefore, he was able to cast David Bowie in The Man Who Fell to Earth. He allowed me to put him through something of an ordeal. He allowed me to make him a face mask, which is really the Bowie life mask. And you can see in the film that it's quite a process he has to go through in order to endure, in order for this mask to be made. And I suppose my favorite shot almost in the whole film is this extraordinary three-dimensional shot of the inside of the mask with a piece of a toweling going into this sort of mysterious vacuum, which is his face.
Tissues for my eyes, please.
Can you take tissues from his eyes?
No, can I have tissues, please?
He was really prepared to talk about things which he'd rarely spoken of before, and to share part of his practice, if you like. For instance, the sequence of cutouts with William Burroughs, which he'd always been very fascinated by chance and by how you refigure ideas, how you write songs.
This is the way I do cut-ups. I don't know if it's like the way Brian Gyson does his or Burroughs does his, I don't know. But this is the way I do. I've used this method only on a couple of actual songs. What I've used it for more than anything else is igniting anything that might be in my imagination. I mean, you can often come up with very interesting attitudes to look into. I tried doing it with diaries and things, and I was finding out amazing things about me and what I'd done and where I was going. And a lot of the things that I'd done, it seemed that it would predict things about the future or tell me a lot about the past. It's really quite an astonishing thing. I suppose it's a very Western tarot.
This is a film which speaks to a lot of people and captures a very extraordinary moment of time and a very remarkable guy. And yes, it is one of those things that I dare say, you know, on my gravestone, that'll be one of the things relatively high up. But that's not long to go, of course. So.